Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
You're listening to the RAP podcast, the Welsh Regional Rugby Appreciation Pod, where we try to cover all the important issues on and off the field in Welsh Regional and National Rugby. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, all of that information is at the end, so you'll just have to bear with us and get to that bit. In the meantime, enjoy this week's show. Hello and welcome to this week's RAP podcast with me, Lee G, and with me as always, I've got Carwyn, Jamie and Reese. Evening, gents. How are we all?
Good evening.
Well. Good. We got a ton of stuff to get through this week's, boy. I mean, everything just happened on the Monday now, because they know we record on a Monday night, so everything just happened on a Monday. So we got a load of stuff to talk through. So let's start with the admin first of all. Let's start with admin. So drink of the week. Carwyn, what have you got? Drink of the week. Come on, faster, so Carwyn. Quicker.
Well, if you stop talking, I'll get it in. So, Roosters Brewing Company, and it's called the Babyface Assassin. It's an India Pale Ale. You can all see that there. It says don't take it too lightly, but it's 6.1%.
6.1.
He's going to be addicted for the end of this, isn't he?
He's going to be flat.
And I just took a swig, and fair play that strong, but it's nice.
Does it hit the back of the throat with a hard one? Does it?
Yeah, it's got a. It says it tastes all fruits and everything, but it definitely doesn't. I can't even. Oh, hang on now. It also says it's vegan friendly, so let me just get another one.
Your proper one. Reese, what have you got this week, my friend?
I got a Glamorgan Brewery Company. It's just called Welsh Pale, and it says.
You're shitting me, dude.
Oh, yeah. You got it. Oh, I got that.
Do you know what? No. I had that on standby, and
Oh, that's the first snap that we've had, boys. Cool. Jamie, what have you got, mate?
I got a fruity number tonight. I got Tropical Ferret IPM.
Tropical Ferret.
Hang on, I'll do it again now.
Do that bit.
Fruity number tonight.
I'm still putting this on YouTube.
Oh my God. Don't do that. It's a fruity IPA bursting with tropical passion fruit and mango flavours. And it's very nice. I like it a lot.
You've got to say it like that. But ferret, where's the ferret?
It's lovely.
But passion fruit and beer, I mean...
Yeah, they work.
I like citrusy beers. I
like fruity beers as well. I'm big into them at the moment.
So mine says like citra hops with mango and apricot and grapefruit and all sorts of shite. But no.
Sounds great.
Yeah. But I was trying to get a can. I saw a can on the floor the other day. Obviously, I didn't pick it up. Being in Cardiff and it was blue. But it was the Mikey Raya.
I've had that. It's nice.
Yeah, I've been
Mikey Raya all day, yeah. Yeah. It's very nice.
So I was disappointed I couldn't find it, but
Christmas is coming, boys. So you've got to get your wish list into Santa quite early, as I've found, because otherwise your wife starts going and buying stuff like dumb stuff, like English ales and stuff. Just no.
Yeah, reel her in.
Yeah. So. Right. Okay. So we have got a ton of stuff to get through. So let's crack through the URC last weekend. It was a bit shit. Lovely jubbly. Right. On to forecasts.
Yeah. Smooth over that weekend.
Yeah, we'll skip over that. So who wants to start? Who was Friday night? Osprey, wasn't it? Yeah.
That was Ospreys. That was the Ospreys.
Go on.
First good point. It was nice to see Matty Prothero making a return there. I don't know if he's been out. I think he's been out with injury for a while as well. So it was nice to see him returning again to, apart from Bradley Davis, a young squad. And a depleted squad of that with the amount of internationals who were away, and obviously none were released back to the squad. And I think there's been a lot of lessons learned in the last couple of weeks down in South Africa. They've come up against some quality players, some tough games. All four regions have,
Yeah.
And I think they've done themselves proud, going forward, especially after today's verbal announcements. I think it could be quite positive. Hopefully we'll hold on to these players now, and they'll mature and they'll grow, and they'll take these lessons learned going forward into the next season or so. But I think they did really well, especially in this game on the weekend. They didn't back down 1 inch. They showed character. Like I think all the teams did, and I was impressed with the Dragons as well. I mean, the Blues I was expecting a bit more of, but they were up against quality opposition as well. Scarlets just having an awful season, same as us. We've lost by a point, we've lost by 2 points, we've drawn. I mean, it's fine margins, absolutely fine margins. But I'm proud of the way they played on the weekend, and I am looking forward to what the future has for them when they have a full squad together.
You boys are really bitter about the whole squad thing, aren't you? Because there's a lot of that on social media about 15 boys away and why is nobody coming out. Scarlets had 2 players go out. Dragons had Bradley Roberts go out, didn't they? I think Cardiff didn't actually need anyone because they were pretty well stocked. But
yeah, we were all right.
Yeah.
Well.
until Saturday afternoon. Yeah, you were fine until kick-off.
But with the Ospreys, don't forget they had an E. coli bug in camp as well. So you had missing internationals, and you had that sickness bug on top of that.
That's right. Yeah,
and when you consider they were only but they were 1 point down. They were only a point behind after 76 minutes. Mind the Ospreys.
Yeah.
I to be fair, I honestly thought the Ospreys were going to get battered. I thought we were going to see a big backlash from the Sharks. Didn't happen. The Sharks, I mean, we spoke about it in the last part. I think they're abysmal, I do. For the quality they got in their team. They're supposed to be South Africa's, they were very hyped in South Africa. They made all those signings. They were supposed to be the front runners of the URC, and I think they're shocking.
Didn't they sack their coach last week or something?
They did, yeah. Sean Everett was
straight after the Cardiff win, wasn't it? Yeah.
But that's what we said. Blue said they don't to Cardiff 35 minutes, a sacral offence. Let's be honest. They'll never have a worse embarrassing performance than that. Yeah, exactly. So, I'm
glad that's been recorded because I'm looking forward to the Dragons Cardiff derby now. And I wait for those 35
minutes. We all know the result of that. That's the best thing I got. That's it. No, well done to the. Yeah, well done to the Ospreys, though, because they made a proper game of it. When you consider all the disruption they had in camp, I think they deserve a big round of applause. Fair play to them. And the score doesn't justify the efforts. They were so unlucky, the Ospreys, not to come away with anything, and they deserved a losing bonus point for their efforts, I thought. It's a shame they didn't come away with anything.
No, absolutely. But like I said, it's character building. It's gonna help going forward. You have to go through these big games under pressure. And I thought they did extremely well. So, yeah, well done. Yeah. I'm really, really proud of the boys there.
Well, you can see that in all 4 sides when you compare the performance from last year to this year. Everyone has gone up in one way or another. So it's a slow learning curve, and we'd all like it to be a lot faster, but it's a learning curve, isn't it?
The joys of Welsh rugby.
All 4 regions, isn't it? I know, probably social media will shout at me for saying this, isn't it? But from last season to this season, there's been a marked improvement with just the way that we move forward, the way that we're playing the game, the way that the heads are not dropping on all 4 regions. All 4 stuck at it. And I mean, my boys were absolutely trouncing that second half. We had a good first half, and then just capitulated, but we're still trying at the end. That was, as a Cardiff supporter, that's brilliant. And I sort of say, the best performance must have been like the Dragons, but the Ospreys and the Dragons were the 2 best sides that weekend, wasn't it? But all 4 regions showed a lot of grunts, like a dog.
Yeah. Well, Di Flanagan's opposite number, the compliment he paid to the Dragons was absolutely spot on. He said, this time last year, heads would have dropped, we would have put 50 points on them. More or less.
John Dobson, yeah. John Dobson said that. Yeah, he was very complimentary of the Dragons. Fair play to him. Yeah, he's right as well.
Before we move on to the Dragons, I just want to say that Jamie managed a whole sentence there without managing to say, do you remember when Cardiff beat the Sharks last week? So, fair play, Jamie. We talk about, sorry. we talk about improvement. Yes.
I said no such thing.
Is he coming over to the light side? I don't know.
I was looking at Jamie on the screen, I was. No, so Reece, we talk about improvement and stuff, mate. So that's it's taking you a week, but there's a whole sentence there without saying what a good win it was against.
Give me time. We got time. Yes.
So, Jamie, you out of the lot of us, you're probably going to be not the happiest, but the least miserable. So, from last week's performance, what do you think?
Well, look, I said on the pod last week, I said it was going to get ugly, and I feared for the Dragons. And I think I was right for the first 38, 39 minutes because they were 28-0 down. They just completely overpowered the Dragons. They are no answer to it, to the pace and power. We didn't help ourselves with our defence. I thought defensively we were very poor in our first half. I know a couple of their tries are doing the rounds on social media, and yeah, they were good tries, but I mean, our defence was shocking. Our scrum was abysmal yet again. I think that is becoming a big problem for the Dragons, actually. The scrum. When we come up against big, powerful packs, we really do struggle. And Aki Salui in particular had a horrid time. Blue said he really did. But Jordan Williams got that try, didn't he, just for half time? And you're thinking, 28-7, what can they do? But fair play, the second half was brilliant. I can't fault the players. They turned it around. A couple of years ago, that would have been a 60, 70 pointer. Honestly, it was heading our way. But fair play to Dragons. I thought they were absolutely fantastic. The bench made a difference. I thought Ben Fry was great coming off the bench. I thought young Will Reid did okay coming off as well. It was just a really good team effort. And it was a respectable scoreline and it was a respectable performance in the end. To come away with a losing bonus point, that's big, that is. That's something to take away. And I was really pleased. I was really pleased with the effort.
The lessons they've learned from that game. The lessons they've learned from that match coming back now, going, well, actually, they're still out there, aren't they, for their European game?
Yeah, we got the Lions now this week, so we need to take all the positives we can from that game into. We need to win now. Actually, we need to back this up. We put in a really good performance. We need to start winning again now. I don't want us to fall into the habit of losing and being plucky losers. I want us to pick up where we left off before the international break. And the Lions are a beatable team. We can go out there and we can beat them, but we've got to learn the lessons now from the Stormers. But there was a lot of positives. There's a few worries, like I said, about scrum and defence, but on the whole, you can't fault the players for the second half fight back. And yeah, it was brilliant. You touched on it. John Dobson was very complimentary about the Dragons, and I think we're on the right track. It was tough. It was a tough game, but we came away with something. We came away with a bit of pride intact, I thought, actually. So, yeah, it's looking all right.
To go 28 down though, away from home in South Africa, and you just start putting the bullet points in on that, isn't it? It's remarkable, isn't it? It's extraordinary.
I thought it was going to be 60, 70 points per on us, and it did look that way, mind. They completely overpowered us, and we just didn't have a clue. But second half, I don't know what Di said. Apparently, he's very calm, very composed, Di Flanagan. He doesn't, lose his shit or anything like that. But whatever was said half time, it just worked. But like I said, the bench made a big impact as well. you know, and that's nice to see, isn't it? You want to see those replacements coming on and making an impact, and that's what they did. So, I'm looking forward to Lions now because I think that's a winnable game, and I want to see Dragons now have a good run in Europe because last year we didn't win any games in Europe. It was quite miserable, and we used to have a decent track record in the Challenge Cup. You know, we've been to a couple of semi-finals and a couple of quarterfinals. I want to see Dragons now have a good run in Europe. So, plenty of positives. Yeah, it's a loss, but there are positives to take from it. I mean, I'm not doom and gloom about it this week at all.
Blimey, whatever you're drinking, we need to get some more of that in because Jamie's not pissed off about the rugby last Saturday. It's going to be a good thing.
I can't be pissed off. When you put in perspective, I can't be pissed off. You know, we come away from the point in South Africa against the champions. I can't be pissed off at that. You know, so.
Okay. Well, like, without wanting to sound too much like John Inverdale in England, Reece, let's talk about Cardiff.
Well, down to word for that.
45-9. There was positives to take. Actually, bear with me, and I'll end on the negative, so you know I'm not too one-eyed. But we had a couple of boys out, but not. But I thought the pack, like especially in the first half, the back row just dominated in the first half. Like both Young and Turnbull, who was like an unsung hero. He was getting a few turnovers and things like that. In the first half as well, we weren't giving away penalties. We were just playing intelligently. Like we were just watching. You know, it was like heads up defence, if you like. We weren't giving anything away, and they were starting to get a little bit worried about, you know, they're getting isolated because we were just picking them off. Then, well, I think what began to tell is a very inexperienced back line. Mason Grady is one for the future, and he's, you know, he pulls off some good runs and does some good stuff, but I don't think he's the finished article yet. We had a couple of boys out from the win against the Sharks last week that possibly made a bit of a difference around, like Cabango's chasing. He's just lightning quick. He's like our Rio Dyer, you know, or Giles, and he's just lightning sort of thing. And we had Alisson, who I think is a fine 110%, you know, and a fine winner. But we didn't quite have that chase of the ball that we had last week. And then the second half happened. I just thought they weren't that defensive. They had a back line and just thought that's where we're going to run at. We're going to run, you know, on that sort of 10 channel, and just get battering up with those big bodies coming. And you know, I thought fitness told towards the end. I thought we were still trying to throw the ball about right at the end, but we'd lost a lot of direction. Jimmy, there was no shape to us, and we looked knackered. We looked off our feet, to be honest, towards the end. But I also can't take anything away from the effort that even the new boys coming in were putting in. Like Winnett at the fullback, he was really brave. You know, he's going in for those high balls and stuff like that. He wasn't coming off. He's got off second best on a couple. But he looks like a prospect for the future. I'm quite excited to see how he develops alongside Mason Grady. You know, we've got, as I said, like last week too, but Cabango. So yeah, it was horrible to watch us go down by so many points in that second half. Close as I've come to turning the TV off, but we're stuck with it. And as a tour, I was expecting to lose both games, so we've come away with a 5 point. And I agree with Diane, and I don't always agree with Diane when I said we got battered, but we've blooded a load of players. As of all of the regions now, we've got some fine talent coming through, isn't it, if they can be developed properly. So mixed emotions, but as a tour of South Africa goes, moderately happy.
And back at the Arms Park next week, or is it the away game?
Yeah, Brave we got. And I tell you what, if we bring that intensity we bring in the first half of both first half of the last game and the entirety of the game against the Sharks, I'm quite looking forward to playing Brave at the Arms Park. To be honest, I think we
it'll be good. Get a good crowd behind them.
Well, I reckon we got every chance of taking them as well.
Absolutely. I think to get a French team home on the first game, get a good crowd behind the guys at the Arms Park, I think we've got a very good chance of beating them.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. We've got against French sides at the Arms Park, we seem to have a good record. Beating Pau there.
Hang on now, how far back is he going to? We've done the Sharks. Now, how far back are we going to go this time for Reese's?
Do you remember back to '96?
Every time you come to me for Cardiff now, I'm going to revert back to the Sharks. You know this now for the rest of the season.
We'll have to have a new feature.
We didn't do what we did against the Sharks in this game. That's all.
We'll introduce a new feature called Reese's Reminisce. About, do you remember that game when...
Well, like the Scarlets in Australia in '92, was it, Lee? Sorry,
now we're talking, fella. Now we're talking. Now you're on my territory. Well, yeah, Scarlets on the weekend is just another frustrating game. We play so well in patches, and then we just... It's like I said before, it's like someone's nicked the tackle bags. You know, it just so frustrating. There were times where we were dominating tackles and knocking them back 5-10 meters, and you're going like, wow, you know, when those are big boys running at you, and we're going 2-man, one low, one high, driving them back, sealing the ball, lovely jubbly turnover, great. That's what we want to do. And then they run at us, and we just go, oh, and, you know, we're tickling, and we're just like, what the fuck's the point of that, you know? And it's just really frustrating. It's so inconsistent that we can play so well in patches and so badly in other patches. And I think the frustrating bit for a Scarlet supporter now is having played well in patches in quite a few games and just not even coming away with losing bonus points, you know. Or your second game that we had 3 tries. To be honest, that last try on 84 minutes, 85 minutes, I think that was probably more impressive than anything else, because they could have quite easily, you know, taken that penalty, tap, walk, boot it into touch, and just gone, thank you very much, we're going home. You know, at best, we were only ever going to get that third try. But the fact that they wanted to go for that try, they wanted to show what they can do, was a bit more impressive for me. So, yeah. And it's not like you could even single somebody out and say, you know, they played well through it that whole game. Everybody had good moments and bad moments. So it's just frustrating. I tell you what, though, yeah, James, for playing at the Lions next week, fuck me, that ball, when you kicked that ball, we were playing 22-22. And, like, not on the edge of the 22, deep in the 22. And it was flying, and they're going, yeah, this is what it's like every week, you know? Absolutely massive kicks. It's just phenomenal.
I mean, what I will say, I'll be honest though, when I watched Dragons against Lions, I felt like we could have and should have won. When I watched Scarlets against Lions, I just didn't feel like Scarlets were going to get anything out of that game. And I just think that maybe shows where the two teams are at the moment. You know, and I do think the Scarlets, they've still got, and it feels like we talk about this every time we discuss the Scarlets, defence is still a big issue. You know, it's really letting them down. And I don't know how you resolve that. I don't know, but it's an ongoing problem now, isn't it? The Scarlets defence just isn't up to it.
Well, in attack, I think we made more line breaks. Like the week before, we made more line breaks than anyone else in the URC, and we must have been close to it this weekend. And it's just like we're offloading, and the ball's going to the floor and whatever. And over time, that will come. You know, that's about running lines and running support. And at some point, yeah, we're going to start putting in 4 tries, 5 tries, 6 tries. As you know, that's going to become the norm. But like you say, that defensive stuff, we showed little bits of, let's say here and there, there'd be little sequences where we'd put like 2 or 3 tackles together that were dominant tackles, and we're driving them back. And then it comes to the next one, and we've lost our shape, and boom, straight through, there's a try, and you're like, oh.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think there was no cohesion there with them. And like, it was basics of rugby where your back line should be talking to each other. And we've got the likes of Scott Williams and JD there in the centre. You're not going to get much more experience than that with the young lads around them.
Well,
and they should be guiding them through. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, everything good at the minute revolves around Scott Williams, and then we took him off. And I thought Steph Evans actually played really well, and said he actually looks like he wants to go and play. I'd have taken Jonathan Davis off and brought Steph Evans on. I think Scott Williams would have made more space for Steph Evans, but there we go.
Yeah, he's got a far better passing game, I think, Scott Williams has than John Davis.
His pass is phenomenal. I watched him train it, and he will stand square, and literally he doesn't move above the elbows, and he will flick it to the right, and he'll bang that 15 meters on the button comfortably. Yeah, and it's literally 2 hands from there, bang, and gone. And the amount of power he gets into that pass is absolutely superb. And that's what creates a space for the players around him. But it'll come. I say they were encouraging signs. I think Dane Blacker played well, to be fair, when he came on. Costello got yellow carded again. He gets more. Did you see the Fafita had his nose rearranged for him with a swing, wild swinging arm? Yeah, he was going down, but it was still a wild swinging arm. Splatters his nose or nothing. Carry on. And that's the kind of season we're having. Costello fucking sneezed at him and he went down and the referee went, yellow card, you're off, son. And you're like, that's just kind of the season we're having.
Is that you blaming the ref again?
No, I'm just saying that we just cannot catch a break on any 50-50 call at the minute.
So I want to know
who's not going our way,
Who's lost the most games in, or the coach-wise? Is it Pivac or Peel?
See, you can go off people, Carwin. You can go off people, man. Yeah. Yeah, but to be honest, Dwayne Peel he's a young coach. He's a young Welsh coach.
And he is a good coach. I do like Dwayne Peel.
In the same way that players have to learn, how to play in those bigger sides and what have you, then coaches have to as well. And there are improvements every time. And if we could take all of our good stuff and repeat it for 80 minutes, we'd be fine. And that's the bit. But you can see improvements coming. Yes, it's frustrating that it's not faster, but it's coming. And from the stuff that's coming out of the Scarlets at the minute, he's a very honest coach. He's very, I want you to do this, I want you to do this. He is having conversations with players about, whether you'll stay. Now that it's all been resolved, which we'll come on to in a minute, but, there are some players that know already they're not going to be there next year. Do you know what I mean? Regardless of what the settlement was going to be, there were some players that are going next year. And I'll be honest, I think quite a lot of them are going to go next year. I think Scarlets is going to have a massive clear up.
It's a big learning curve, this, for Dwayne Peel as well, isn't it? Because let's not forget, he had no head coach experience before he took this job. He was backs coach at Ulster. He was supposed to have gone to Cardiff. Then obviously Scarlets, sabotaged that. But it's a big learning curve for everyone at the moment. And it's tough. Look, as a Dragons fan, I know it's like your team is losing week in, week out. I get it. I completely understand. And losing becomes a habit then. And it's very hard to break. No, honestly, it's tough.
No, I know.
It's tough being a fan. I've been in. I know what it's like.
I feel the pain. Look, we won 2 games last season.
Yeah, you've only won 1 this season. It's not great.
The thing is, we've drawn more than the Scarlets have lost. I think.
Yeah.
Really. But yeah,
it's tough at the moment for all our teams.
Yeah. So we said last week that so we'll do predictions now for this week, right? But we said last week that we were going to do a forfeit based on who had the best predictions. And I'll be honest with you, I wrote most of them down, but I wrote all of them down. But I've lost my pad with
handy.
It's like Theresa May, but losing all the files. What you got to hide, Lee?
We did Christmas decorating over the weekend, and on Sunday afternoon, and my pad has gone missing. So I'm assuming my wife has tidied it up somewhere, and I can't find it. So I was going to go through the pod again this morning and just write down who said what and compare. But there's a lot of hassle, so I think we just put that down to kind of experience last week. You know, there's a good dry run, and now the Carwin's back, you know. I don't even know if I lost. I can't find my pad with it all written down, and I just didn't get the time to. I was quite busy over the weekend, so I didn't get the time to go through and write it down. But we will do it this week, and whoever comes off the worst by Sunday night, I'll let you boys know by Sunday night.
Will we do our predictions then for this weekend?
Yeah. So Friday night, I think, is Ospreys, isn't it? Ospreys on Friday night?
I thought it was Sunday. It was Sunday.
No,
Sunday with
East Wales on Saturday, no? West Wales.
It's Ospreys playing on Sunday at 5:30 against Leicester. Yeah, this Sunday.
Yeah,
Scarlets are at home as well. They're quarter-past 3.
Yeah. Scarlets first, then Ospreys finish it. So the first game then is Dragons, isn't it? They will
yes.
Because they got the early kickoff against the Lions.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've got my new pad. It's only a tiny little one. It looks like one of those ones you get in like a Christmas cracker. Right. So you crack on. What we got now? Lions, Dragons, right? Carwin, what's your guess? Because it's
Lions,
a guess.
Dragons. Do you know? I think I'd love the Dragons to win. I think they've been playing some decent rugby out there, but I think now 3 weeks out there, you know, either this draws them all together and they're going to do well, or they've got injuries on board there and it's having a desired effect of them not doing too well. I know Rio Dyer isn't going out there as well. I think he's got a bit of a niggle, and they're trying to save him for the derbies. I'd like to see the Dragons win, but I think the Lions will probably take it by about 3 points.
So Lions by 3. Okay, so that was a long fucking winded way of saying Lions by 3, mate. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, but I needed to have an excuse.
Reece, what's your bet?
I'm gonna go Lions by 10.
Lions by 10. See
cheers, Reece. Thanks a lot.
You're all right, bro.
Right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Lions by 5.
That's a lot of it.
Well, no, actually, Jane, because if I start betting that the Lions are going to win, then you start getting arky with everyone. Yeah. So, you know,
that's right.
So you can't beggars and choosers. Right. So these are your boys. Give us the rundown on this weekend.
Right. I'm going to go for a Dragons win because I think team selection is going to look a bit stronger. So I'm expecting Ashton Hewitt to start. I'm expecting Leon Brown to start. He did hold them back last week, Dave Flanagan. So I'm expecting them. What is the Lions team selection going to be like? Are they going to take this Challenge Cup seriously or not? Who knows? It's very difficult to tell in the Challenge Cup, isn't it, what team selection is be like. But I think this is a game that Dragons really do want to win. I think they'll pick the strongest team. And I'm going to do something they don't normally do. I'm going to go for the Dragons by 4 points. Why not?
When was the last time you predicted a Dragons win?
Against Zebra. This was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Cool. Right. What's next then? So Cardiff and Brive.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
No. You go last on this one. See, I've got a system. Yeah, because that's your boys. You go last. So Cardiff and Brive. So Jane, what's your guess on Cardiff and Brive, mate?
I'm going to go for a comfortable Cardiff win because, as I said earlier, with the Challenge Cup, it's hard to tell whether these teams take it seriously. Can Brive be asked? They're not going to send their full-strength team out today, let's be honest. And if Cardiff get their team selection right, I think they'll win quite easily. So I'm going to go Cardiff by 14.
14. Carwin?
Well, look, I upped Cardiff earlier as well, and I think home crowd, full squad to choose from. I think Brive will come out with a full-strength team, but I think Cardiff by 9.
Cardiff by 9. All right. So I'm going to go Brive by 5 just because I haven't seen Brive play this year and I just want to be different. So there we go. I got no idea what Breve are playing like.
I'm just looking at the results now.
Right, and
yes. And the last time they won a game in the top 14 was in 1st of October, I think, unless I'm missing one, and that was against Bayonne. And since then they lost to Toulon, Toulouse, Stade Francais, Racing, La Rochelle.
Breve are bottom, but they're bottom of the top 14. So that tells you what you need to know. They've won 2 games. I don't think they're going to be taking this game seriously, to be honest. I think they'll play a weak team. This will not be the priority for them.
I think that's by 15.
I'm going to change mine to Cardiff.
Oh, no.
Yeah. No, Reese had done some bit of research there. So Reese will go by Cardiff by 15, yeah?
I reckon if we bring that intensity we try to bring in both games in South Africa, I reckon we're on a... It's a shoot. I've just lost us the game.
You jinxed it, pal. You jinxed it. Okay, so Sunday then we've got Scarlets against Bayonne as well. So, Reese, what's your guess on that one, mate?
I don't even know. Where's it been played? Sorry.
So Sunday, 3:15 on Sunday at the park.
At the park. I'll take a Scarlets. I'm going to go for Scarlets.
See, now I'm starting to get all Jamie about you predicting the Scarlets win now. Why would you do that?
How many points?
Yeah.
I'm going to go for 2.
2. All right, yeah, fair enough. Scarlets by 2. Carwyn?
Bayonne, I don't know. 16 points. By 16.
How many?
Bayonne by 16.
By 16.
Saison. Says. Not saison.
Jamie?
I'll go for a Scarlets win, only because they're playing a pack of Scarlets, and because, again, without don't want to repeat myself, I don't know if Bayonne are going to take this seriously or not. I mean, they are 7th for the top 14, but Challenge Cup is their priority for them. Not sure. So, I'll go for Scarlets win by 7.
By 7. Lovely, jubbly. So I'm going to go for Scarlets win as well. I just think we've got a couple of boys coming back in. It's, the South Africa trip has been quite nice, but it's time to knuckle down. Do you know what I mean? It's time to... We know we can score the tries, so let's just knuckle down and do the hard work where we need to. So I'm going to go for Scarlets by 10 because I'm feeling adventurous, and I don't care what the forfeit drink would be next week, apparently, on that one.
I got a new game as well. Like, how many pads does Lee lose when he comes last in this game?
But you see, I'm going to leave it next to the laptop. I promise.
Well, you'll have to send us a picture of your scribbles tonight.
Yeah, look at the size of it as well. It's like...
So I couldn't find. Let's say I've lost my pad, and so I'm in my son's bedroom, and so I've got none of my stuff around there. So I was rummaging through his drawers, didn't find anything dodgy, thankfully. And found this little pad from like last Christmas with some card game scores on. So I thought, right, yeah, we'll have that one. So next game then. Last game is Ospreys and Leicester.
Massive game.
Well, I don't know, a bit of a run out for Leicester.
Jamie, do your scores, boys. Do your scores.
Jamie, what's your prediction, mate?
I'm afraid I am going to have to go to Leicester. I mean, Ospreys in a really difficult group as well, aren't they? I mean, this is the big boys tournament. They got Montpellier as well, and it's hard to see them picking up a win at all in this competition. So I'm sorry, Carwyn, but I am going to have to go to Leicester. Probably by about 7.
Well,
I'll go for 7.
Absolutely entitled to your opinions, lads. That's absolutely fine.
Reese?
I'm going to go for Leicester by 10.
Leicester by 10.
I think there's too much firepower.
Yeah. I'm going to go Leicester by 20. Yeah. I've got the scores. I mean, if it's that bad, then I'll get a can of special brew and just fill it with water. How bad is it going to be?
There we go.
Carwyn, what's your prediction, mate?
Well, firstly, I think with the whole squad coming back together, now I don't know how Toby's going to play it, if he's going to integrate them slowly or just going to get them back in there. I don't know. I think we've got a very good squad at the moment. And I think if it clicks, and it clicks well, I think we've got every chance of beating Leicester. Yes, they're English champions. They've got a full English back line, as they put online the other day. The first Premiership club to play a full English back line. But I think if we do click, and we click well, because our time is coming in this league. It's just, like I said, it's those fine margins. I think we've got a great chance if it all comes together, and I think we will beat Leicester by about, 5 points.
So that's your official prediction, yeah? Ospreys by 5.
Ospreys beat Leicester 5 points, and you will all
give you that hospital. Must be in proper now.
I'm still in shock from the injury, to be honest. It's a football, not a rugby ball.
What I will say is the weather for this weekend is meant to be really, really cold and windy, isn't it? There's like a storm coming. Well, it's not a storm. It's not officially classed as a storm. The Troll of Trondheim is like a beast from the east thing.
Too much Derek the Weather you've been watching, boy.
No, I was on Facebook. It must be true. It was a Twitter post, so it must be true. But yeah, there's this like big cold blast with lots of nasty wind coming. So who knows? We saw the way the weather affected the Cardiff game. That was the only way they beat the Sharks. Let's be fair. So who knows what the weather will bring this weekend? But it is meant to be real shit weather this weekend, so
I'll be working. So don't tell me the score for the Ospreys game, so I'll have it on record.
Okay. I think you'll get a sense of it, definitely.
Radio silence.
Yeah, right on mute. Complete radio silence.
Right. Okay. So we wanted to rattle through the rugby bits quite quickly because so we're recording this on a Monday night, and the amount of rugby news that's broken today is probably enough to fill the week.
Did you hear Eddie Jones has been sacked?
I think that's tomorrow, isn't it?
Officially confirmed tomorrow, yeah.
Officially confirmed tomorrow.
Yeah.
But, let's
replaced by Pivac.
Let's stick to
Borthwick had gone for, haven't they? Steve Borthwick, apparently, according to the Mail.
Yeah.
Oh, is that definite?
Oh, really?
Well, that's what the Daily Mail reported, that Eddie Jones is going to get sacked tomorrow, which will be Tuesday, and then Steve Borthwick, the Leicester coach, is going to be England. So
that'll be handy for us on Sunday. Happy days.
It probably won't matter, Cowan, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
They still win, even without a coach.
So let's stick to Wales stuff. So Pivac gone, which we thought was going to happen last week, which is why we recorded 2 last week. So Pivac gone, Gatland back. Regions have had a verbal agreement for funding for 6 years, and Ospreys, what's his name? Niro.
Nick Garcia.
That's the boy. He's gone. So wasn't he in one of those gangster films? Anyway,
when he came in, all this talk about the investments they're making with that company, where is it? Where's that investment?
All this global brand nonsense he kept banging on about as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was very naive, though, was he, Carwyn? Don't you think? I mean, when you look back, the nonsense he was coming out with, I think he was very naive. I don't think he understood Welsh rugby. I think he came into it and then realised,
I think he comes as a fan.
This is Welsh rugby. Yeah.
You know, like one of the lads on Twitter, I posted the questions you guys, the lad asked me as well about the Ospreys possibly losing the Umbro sponsorship as well. You know, and is that true? We don't know. Is it a rumour? Don't know. But now, you know, Garcia's gone. I don't think that's the company gone. While 11 Sports Media Day, because
no, it's not.
The other guy. It's James Davis Yandel is the guy in charge there. Now I'm still trying to find ways to contact him because we'll say one of the followers on Twitter there, he's asked if we could ask that question and maybe get him on. I don't know. But that's another day. That's another day.
What was his actual role? What was he there to do?
He was the CEO.
So he was the head honcho, the chief chamonky. He was everything. Because I thought he was just in charge of marketing. I thought he was a marketing guy. That's what I thought he was there for.
Money.
No.
He was part of the PRB along with the other chairs. So he would have been in negotiations on the PRB, Professional Game Board.
So was he
that links when you wonder, like, so he's gone today. This announcement's been made today. Has it gone his way? I don't know.
Or maybe he was just waiting for the announcement to come out and like, right, that's that. Finished, I can go, sort of thing.
All ifs and buts, we don't know, do we?
So what do we make of the 6-year agreement then? Let's start with the fact it's not signed and sealed. So
what is the agreement? What is the agreement? What's the funding? You know, what's the rules of keeping players, signing foreign players? You know, it's a lot involved, isn't it? And what about the 20 million debt passed on to the regions? Is that going to be offset? Is that going to go back to the WIU? You know, I think there's lots involved, and it all does come down to money at the end of the day. I mean, which is why we are where we are now. But first and foremost, I think it's the players need to be looked after. You know, it's been so uncertain for them, and clearly it affects them. It's affecting the way they play. It'll affect their home lives. It's much deeper rooted.
That's what the Welsh Rugby Players Association said, didn't they? Last night they put out a statement, didn't they? And they said it's affecting the performances and the well-being. So I think that was to give a good nudge.
That's an absolute no-brainer, like it, because if you just like take away like rugby and everything like that, it's a job, isn't it? It's a job where you pay for food on a table, a roof over your heads, and you know do what you need to do with your income and things like that. So if you don't know where you're going to be, if you're going to be even working next year, it stops everything, isn't it? It stops you being able to finance anything and what have you. And financial stress is meant to be like a massive cause of depression, anxiety, including suicide. Like that. Yeah, absolutely. So it's by then withholding and taking this long through, you know, whatever everybody says and stuff like that. You know, must be a lot of incompetence involved because you can't get to an agreement to run the professional game in Wales where there's workers involved. Then it's disgusting, isn't it? Like,
well, we've had,
sorry, Jane. If this like statement to come out a week ago, would Will Rowland still be at the Dragons?
I was just about to talk about that now. We've already had our first casualty and we Will Rowland.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and this Dragons have lost their best player and captain. Wales are going to lose their best lock. And it's all too late, isn't it? You know, this has gone on for far too long. I had a rant about it on the last pod. It's just not good enough. You know, it's really not good enough.
It's not good enough for anybody, is it? Anybody involved, including the people making the decisions, because essentially they're basically killing the game. The job.
But this
did you watch Scrum 5? Sorry, did you watch Scrum 5, any of you? They had Ian Evans on, the new chair. And, you know, they were talking about all this, you know, deadlock with the regions and all this. And fair play, it was a really good exercise in somebody saying a lot, but without saying anything.
It was
like he could not give a straight answer to anything, Ian Evans. It was just waffle. It was like watching a politician on Question Time.
Yeah.
Absolute waste of time.
But then if you're this close, like they're obviously very, very close to an agreement, he says one thing wrong on scrum 5 on Sunday, and the whole lot is up to Swanee. So I don't. What he should have said was, look, I'd love to come on scrum 5 this week, but we're at a really sensitive part of the negotiations, and I don't want to cock that up. It's too important.
Yeah, it's like Boris Johnson saying
next week.
It's like Boris Johnson saying, no, we didn't have any parties. There was no parties. Party.
But do you know
what he said about Wayne Pivac, he just kept repeating himself, and it was so frustrating for an interview. Because I agree with you, Lee. Like, maybe just not go on there, because what it does for the fans, we're the fans, isn't we? Like, and that's what we're trying to sort of represent in this podcast. It's going to frustrate people, isn't it? After what's happened before and what is causing at the moment. Yeah. Sorry,
but this is why I keep saying about leadership. Yeah, and what we are crying out for now is leadership. If Ian Evans had done a quick interview there and said, "Look, guys, I would really love to come on the show, but there's stuff going on that's at a really sensitive point, and I'm hoping we'll have an answer for you this week, but I'll willingly come back on next week and discuss the points when decisions are made." Yeah, everyone goes, all right, okay, we kind of get a feeling something's coming, and I think this is the whole problem with the Welsh game at the minute, with Pivac, with decisions around Pivac, with decisions around regions. Everybody's so scared of saying stuff and just saying, look, we're working on something here. We're trying to build this. We're trying to do that. And nobody will come out and say stuff because they're so scared of getting ripped to pieces on social media that they just go, do you know what, we just can't say anything about anything. So go on, show a face, say nothing, come off, keeps people happy. Yeah, and it doesn't. It makes it worse. But the void of leadership that we have right now is killing the game, because you've got community clubs have not got a clue what's going on with the game. Yeah, and as much as we talk about separating community and professional, which is we all see that, and we all see that that's the way to go. Every single professional player starts in a community game. Yeah, so we can't disregard the community game, and you've got clubs in that community game who are absolutely fighting tooth and nail to stay open for another month, in the hope that month will, we might attract a couple of players. We might have a couple of birthday parties, and that'll be enough to pay for some more. Do you know what I mean? The clubs are fighting tooth and nail. So having somebody at the top just putting a hand up and saying, right, do you know what, guys, this is what's coming.
Steady the ship.
This is what the future's going to look like. And you know what? We've got some stupid stuff going on at the minute with that bloody Skywalk or whatever it is, which is not going to make a ding for, that's not going to affect the finances of local clubs. That's not going to improve local clubs. And we need somebody in there now. And this is why I hope Ian Evans does, is just go, right, okay, in my first week, I've done, sacked a coach, took a coach on, and we've agreed to the 6-year deal for clubs and whatever. Yeah, right. Okay, this is what the next 12 months looks like. This is what the next 5 years looks like. Do you know what I mean? Somebody that's got a bit of a plan of what that future is going to look like, so we can go, right, we're going to go and do something. Because at the minute, it just.
Can I just say something before? Because I think we have forgot this actually. It's more the personal side of rugby. Regarding Wayne Pivac, he took on a big job. It had his ups and downs, but as a bloke and to a man, what a lovely guy. I met him up in Ulster, in Belfast, when Scarlets went up there and they lost to Ulster. He took time out after the game to speak to me. Really nice guy, regardless of the result. And firstly, wish him and his family all the best and for the future.
I agree.
There's been a lot of people who've he's been slagged off a lot, and I wouldn't want that job. I really wouldn't, because it's like, so we're all experts in the game, and we've all got our opinions. I'm sure he does read those comments, remarks on the national rags or whatever. But I wish him all the best, and good luck for the future, because he is a good coach.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nobody tries to do a shit job. Nobody tries to lose a game. And he was making the effort. It just didn't work out. And sometimes it doesn't work out. Gatland didn't work out at Ireland. And
didn't work out for me in New Zealand.
Yeah. And then came to Wales and things fell into place. So
it's nothing personal, though, is it? I mean, at the end of the day, this is professional sport and it is a results-based business. That's the reality of it, you know?
Yeah. I think some people on social media thought it was very personal. And I think the thing is, when I was reading through the WRU post this morning, and like the first 15, 20 posts are all quite negative, having a go, blah, 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 all of this kind of stuff. And then you can see after about 20 minutes, half an hour, they start to be a bit more neutral and a bit more kind of like a bit more balanced. And then after about an hour or so, it's good luck, well done, thank you for trying, appreciate that it didn't go well, but, thank you.
Yeah, and he's a good coach. He did wonders for the Scarlets.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is I think that there are some people who project themselves as Wales supporters who just go around looking for ways of kind of putting their name to something to make, I don't know whether it's an ego thing. Do you know what I mean? They're just looking for a way of getting their name out there, and I'm going to be the first one to slag him off, and people will have a go at me.
But when you think about it, right, you put it into perspective. A man has lost his job just before Christmas, and it don't matter what line of business you're in. That's tough, isn't it? It's never easy to see people getting sacked. I mean, even Eddie Jones. I think Eddie Jones is a great coach. I can't stand him as a person. I think he's really divisive. He said some awful things, but he's going to lose his job. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's not nice seeing people lose their jobs, but unfortunately, that is what this business is. It's a results-based business. It's a professional sport.
It's not a skint, is it?
So
no, that's it, I suppose. Yeah, but
let's move. Yeah. So there's two bits then with Pivac going is the team, and this is what I was saying before, a couple of pods ago about the team beneath him, whether they stay or whether they go, and who comes in there, and then we've obviously got Gatland coming back in. So, which one do you want to go for first? Do you want to start on Gatland and then we'll do the team underneath him, or do the team underneath him and then have a go at Gatland and see where we go from there? Who wants to kick off?
Right. Go on, Reece.
With Gatland, I think I said in earlier parts, I wouldn't mind him coming back in to sort of steady the ship. What Gatland's good at is working very quickly with the resources available to him and galvanizing them into some sort of workable unit. And what makes him like a good coach is seeing what attributes everybody has in that team to work as quick as possible when we've only got that year turnaround or less than that now.
That's it with the Lions as well, isn't it? He's proven.
World Cup. Yeah, exactly. The Lions are the hardest thing to turn into a winning side, isn't it? It doesn't happen many tours. So I liked the fact he came back for that reason, hoping it would be a short-term contract and things like that. So am I right now? I've been reading different things all day, but he's got up until 2027. And
it's not short-term.
No, so it's
he's got a number of years now, and that I didn't want. I wanted to bring somebody fresh in.
Yeah. But I think those number of years is overarching because he's going to take us up to the World Cup. See how it goes from there, but that overarching period then to 2027 is more about the structure of Welsh rugby, I believe, and of the regions of the community, the grassroots, and the clubs. Mm-hmm. I think it's the whole shebang. It's not. I think a new coach will come in after the next World Cup, but Gatland still will be involved in Welsh rugby.
Like a director of rugby type thing.
Yeah.
I think it depends. Same as we haven't got the details of the agreement for the regions, and the same with Gatland. That there's obviously, we're not going to get all 20 pages of his contract, obviously, but having an idea of some of the key points of it would be good, because I think you're right. If he comes back in that type of director of rugby role, he acknowledged before he went that the depth of certainly within certain positions in Wales, the depth of quality wasn't what he wanted it to be, and he said something like, we had opportunities to develop players that we didn't take, and in hindsight I would have liked to have developed more younger players. So having him in a director of rugby role, for me, that makes sense. That makes sense. Where people will listen to him because he's got that bit of gravitas about him. And so when he's talking to coaches around the country, when he's going, you need to do this, this, and this, people are going to go, oh, yeah, that's Gatland. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
We need to discuss the cost of this as well, because this is a really important point, okay? We're told that there's no money in Welsh rugby, right? Now, they've had to pay Gatland a big fat contract. This is my take. Yeah. This is what I think happened, right? I think England wanted Gatland, and they came to him with a bumper offer. And I don't think Gatland had any intention of taking a short-term deal. He wants long-term, right? So I think the WRU went to him, can you take us to the World Cup? He's probably gone, well, I got this from England, a long-term deal. I think the WRU are panicked, and they're giving Gatland now this bumper deal, and that's how they've got their man, right? According to Wales Online, Steph Thomas from Wales Online, he's reporting in this article tonight, 600,000 is going to be Gatland's contract, okay? Then you got to factor in, they got to pay off Wayne Pivac, okay? Yeah. That ain't going to come cheap, right? Then Gatland may want to bring his own people in. He might not want some members of that coaching team. I'm expecting Rob Bowley's going to come back. I don't know if Stephen Jones is going to keep a position. He might want to get rid of some of those players. So you got to pay those guys off. You got to bring new guys in. This ain't coming cheap, and we're told there's no money in Welsh rugby. Meanwhile, the professional game is floundering. The budget, the regions haven't agreed their budget, so it's not good. They mentioned
they've mentioned $1 million somewhere about for getting rid of the staff. Paying
it could cost up to $1 million. Yeah, but where's that money coming from then? Because we're constantly told there's no money in Welsh rugby. We're constantly told there's no money to fund 4 regions, but when push comes to shove, we actually have got the money, when the WRU get what they want, because it's all about Team Wales. They take priority, and that's what today is really proven, isn't it? I mean, we've all known it, but Team Wales always takes priority.
Going back to how you structure the big 3 issues, isn't it, of the community game, the professional game, and Team Wales, that's an issue, isn't it, around trust, around each different a part of that game in Wales struggles to trust the rest. Like the community game is what you're just so watchful, even though the good point was made to me a couple of sessions ago that 65% of the clubs did vote for change and stuff like that. So that's good, isn't it? That shows things moving forward. But sometimes you can't blame the other 35, as frustrating as it is, because they, like Lee was saying, struggling with those, trying to put money on the table to stay open and what have you. So it's all about trust. And when the WRU can come out and do that and just put those wads of cash on the table when it wants to, sort of thing, and as we just said about player well-being and that money not being available for the workers that prop up the game and go into Team Wales, then that doesn't help.
I'm with you though, Rhys, about Gatland, and I did mention this on the pod. I do think it's the right decision to let Wayne Pivac go. I just think his position was untenable. 3 wins in all year. Those embarrassing home losses to Georgia and Italy. Any other union, if it was Ireland, if it was England, they would have dispensed to their coach. So I think they had to do it because his position was just untenable. I'm happy to have Gatland back, but I thought it was going to be short term, and now it's longer term, and you're thinking, is that really the right option? And he's going to have a big say now with Welsh rugby, isn't he? Don't forget, they're going to do a review into the regions. They're going to do a review into the whole professional game. Gatland's going to have a big say, and you do wonder further down the line if he goes, well, we can't have 4 teams anymore. Someone needs to go, And that's not off the table, Mike, by the way. We had our Oakwell report. I've got a feeling in the next few years or so, this conversation is going to come again. I generally think we're going to lose a team in the next few years or so. And the reality is it's going to be Dragons or it's going to be Ospreys. Cardiff would be fine because they're the capital. Scarlets would be fine. It's going to be either Ospreys or Dragons. And I'm not scaremongering you, but I really do think further down the line, when we do have this in-depth review, I think a team's going to be in trouble. And that's my concern going forward.
Do you really think it'll be the Dragons, though, with being part owned by the WRU anyway?
Well, they could close it down tomorrow, mate. Being part of the WRU, they could close it down tomorrow. But then I think, well, if that's the case, they would have done it already, But you hear all sorts of stuff about Ospreys, don't you? They're in financial trouble. I mean, none of the regions are in particularly, good health financially, but you've got the Ospreys, chief executive leaving, and all sorts of rumours. I mean, are you worried as an Ospreys fan?
Absolutely. I hope it won't. I hope it won't come to that. But there was the talk. Was it 2 years ago, or was it just the season prior to going on the Lions tour, that the Ospreys and the Scarlets were going to merge?
That was through the Six Nations. That was through the Six Nations. That was when Gatland played up in Scotland, wasn't it? There was all that talk about merging. I just got a feeling either there's going to be a merger or someone's going to go, and I hope I'm wrong, I really do, but I just got this feeling now something's going to happen. Some big decisions are going to have to be made, and if it's my team that gets the chop, then, I'd be sad, but so be it. It's just one of those things. I'd be gutted, but I do think there's a big... No one. I'd be neutral. I wouldn't support any regions. No, do you know what I do?
Yes.
Do you know what I do? I get a season ticket. I go down to Bristol, Gloucester, because I'm in Newport and get a train to Bristol. If I get down to Gloucester, it's easy to get to Gloucester.
Get to Cardiff quicker, wouldn't you?
No, but if you lose your side, if you lose
we'll have
your
you
side,
anytime, bro.
No thanks.
Jamie's right though. If you lose your side, it takes a long time to adjust to that. Mentally, it takes a long time to go and say my side isn't there anymore. And when they start putting the houses, and I mean this from community game right up to professional game, when they start selling the ground off and they start building houses and they start doing this, that, and then it hits home that reality that my club is gone. And there isn't a rugby pitch there anymore, and the club isn't there, and it doesn't matter what level you're at, whether it's community or professional, you walk away from the game for a period of time because you go, if that's the way that game is going to go, I don't want to be a part of it. I'll walk away because I don't want to be a part of it.
Can I just ask, lads? So obviously there's 4 regions. So, Reece, prior to regional rugby, you supported Cardiff. We still have Cardiff League. Prior to regional rugby, you were supporting the Scarlets.
No.
Or who were you supporting prior to that?
I was playing for Quins, mate. So I
didn't. But was you supporting the Scarlets? Were they your club growing up to watch on TV?
Well, Scarlets didn't exist until
Tenacity then.
No, Tenacity, no. I didn't support. I didn't.
Okay,
support
right.
The main
all right.
side.
So for argument's sake, right, there was Tenacity Scarlets. There's still the Scarlets. There was Blues. There's now the Dragons, who were the Newport, trying to say the Gwent Dragons. Ospreys were Neath and Swansea, who we lost to become one region. So we'd already lost our club. Neath is still playing right in the championship there. That's the team I've always grown up following. But you boys have had Cardiff, you've had Newport, you've had Llanelli. So out of those regions, yes. Would the Ospreys be the ones to go? I hope not, because you see the banner, the one true region. It is true, because we formed from 3 clubs, Bridgend as well. We sort of benefited from the demise of the Celtic Warriors. But
and in Cardiff.
And in Cardiff, yeah. But the Scarlets were always the Scarlets, as far as I'm concerned. That you can take Llanelli out the name, but they're still the Llanelli Scarlets, as far as I'm concerned, and it's still the Newport Dragons.
Well, it was Newport Ebervale that there was Dragons. It was the amalgamation of 2 clubs, but although I do say it's got more of a Gwent feel now. I'd say that Newport. You speak to any Newport supporter, they don't associate themselves with the Dragons. It's Newport RFC now. So yeah,
is it really?
No, I mean Newport RFC supporters, a lot of them they don't associate with the Dragons, is why I'm saying. Newport are very much old school, because when they dropped the Newport Gwent name, a lot of them just walked away then because they said, we were being too Gwent. And that's the one thing that did happen with the WRU takeover. We pandered to Gwent a lot more. And has it worked? No, because the core support is in Newport.
That was my next question. Do you think that has worked as a region then, Yeah, but then again, you see them by the crowds. All right, we're based just out on the outskirts of Swansea, and we're not pulling in the crowds from that region. I've seen this on Twitter, and people are going and giving me percentages and populations and all that bobbins. But the rugby fan isn't coming to these games as often as they would like, and they're not filling the stadiums. Which I don't think we're ever going to fill a 20,000 seats.
You're not going to fill the stadiums. You're not we're not. It's just not feasible. You got to be realistic. It's not feasible.
You go back to somewhere like Renal and put the facilities in there. I think you could fill up. Like I think you fill the Arms Park every weekend. They get a great crowd every weekend. Dragons every other weekend. I think they do it right. But the Scarlets and the Ospreys, we've got these nice big stadiums, but we're not filling them.
Well, see, I reckon, and this is what I've gone back to saying the other day, yeah. And when you support the club, there are different levels that you come in as a supporter as, yeah. And the top level of that is the Sunshine supporters who turn up when you're winning, yeah.
Yeah.
And beneath that, you've got core supporters, and then you've got base supporters. Your base supporters are people who've got a physical attachment to, like, your school team. Everybody within your school will, you've got that base attachment to your school team and your college team or whatever, yeah? You don't necessarily have that base attachment, or there's a very, very small base attachment to a professional club, yeah? And they know this. The core supporters are the people that have got an emotional attachment to that club. Yeah. So for me, you're asking about, who did I support before? No one. Yeah, I didn't support Leslie before. Yeah. I'd watch the big teams playing, and I'd look at them and I'd match myself against them, and I'd go, I could be there doing that. But actually, because I'm so far away from those clubs, I'm never going to get an opportunity to. Yeah. So there was never that connection with that club. When the Scarlets,
so that's when you left the dark side of the Quins for Pembroke Scarlets, eh?
Yeah. But when the Scarlets came along, yeah, and I'm coaching under sevens, and struggling, yeah, because I had one ball between 35 kids, and the Scarlets come down, they went, all right, and they brought Gareth Davis, they brought Reece Priestland, and they brought Scott Williams, yeah. All of a sudden, I've got a connection with the Scarlets. And those 35 boys that are there training with me have got a connection with the Scarlets. And those 35 boys' parents and their brothers and their sisters have all now got a connection with the Scarlets. Because do you know what? When they see Gareth Davis training on the telly, playing on the telly, and they turn to their mate and they goes, I was playing with him last week at training. Do you know what I mean? There's a connection. There's a core connection there. And there's different ways of establishing that core connection. And that's what's missing in the professional era, is they've assumed that people are going to connect to the club because they're playing professional sport. And they're missing this whole core connection with people, where people actually feel something for that club. Yeah. Because, James, you've been supporting the Dragons, yeah, over the last 2 seasons with 2 wins up until this season, yeah, those last 2 seasons, 2 wins. If you were there as a Sunshine supporter, you wouldn't be there.
Yeah. But this is the point I've made on Twitter, right? Is the hardcore, they'll turn up regardless. And there's a core hardcore supporter of the Dragons now, I'd say about 2,500-ish. They're going to be there every single week, whether they lose every single week, right? The biggest driver for increased attendances is success. It really is as simple as that. Success pulls crowds. It's a very difficult time out there now. We've got cost of living. It's competing with football. These are very difficult times. People are not going to spend their hard-earned money if you're losing week in, week out, week in, week out, right? The hardcore support will turn up. If you want to get the casual fans, you've got to provide a product, and you've got to provide winning rugby. Otherwise, they're not going to turn up. I've seen it at the Dragons, mate. It really is as simple as that. Success pulls crowds. So that I've been a Scarlets fan. When they won the Pro 12, your attendances went up, didn't they?
But they're transient. Yeah, but all of those players that turned up then, they're not there now. Yeah, now that time's hard. Now that you need that base level, yeah, and that's what I'm saying, is they need to work on bringing that base level up by establishing that core connection. Because by hoping that you've seen this at Bristol. Bristol are running a debt of like 65 million or something like that. It dwarfs the rest of the debt in the rest of the Gallagher Premiership. They're doing that because they've gone, we're going to be a successful team. Bristol Bears have got 16,000 season ticket holders. That's bigger than Parker Scarlets, yeah? 16,000 season ticket holders. But that was based on the success from 2 seasons ago, yeah?
So built on success,
yeah. But now
when the Ospreys had that success in the early days,
they're 3 times the size of Cardiff as well, and the population.
Population is a big thing, mate. It is. It does matter. Population. It is a factor.
But those core supporters that bought those 16,000 season ticket holders are now not even turning up to the games because things ain't going well for Bristol. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not winning the way they used to. The exciting rugby isn't there. It's not that. It's not the golden brand that it was 2 seasons ago. So their attendances are starting to go down and down and down. Yeah,
as you'd expect.
But that's what. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah? If that was a core support, yeah, my point is that you gain more as a club and as a sport by establishing those connections and working on that core support than you do on hoping that you're going to buy a winning team. Yeah. And you look at Ireland, Cardiff, Carwyn, you know the Irish teams, yeah, better than the rest of us. But the core support in Leinster and Munster is massively higher than what it is in Wales.
It is, but you're pulling people from the main cities. Yeah, this guy I had a bit of a spat on Twitter with him the other day, and he was right to mention populations, but Leinster is predominantly coming from Dublin, not the Leinster region. There are people who will come and travel to see them play, and Munster again, predominantly Cork, but there are people who will come and see them play, and they're playing in 2 stadiums in Musgrave and Thomond Park. Depends who they're playing and what crowds I think they'll get. That's my personal opinion. I might be completely wrong on that. Connaught is the smallest, one of the biggest regions, but the smallest nations. And again, like Ulster, you're covering 2 Ulster covers from Ireland and Republic of Ireland. So they're pulling people in from those areas. Like my mate used to go from Portadown on the train to go and watch them.
Is there more of an affinity though to they're not regions, they're the provinces though, isn't it? Like I'm a Munster man.
It is the province. The province works. The province works. Yeah. Absolutely, people believe in their province, and rugby is like the 4th sport there. And someone pointed out to me the other day on Twitter, said rugby doesn't come in the top %, but he included walking and jogging in this as well. But it doesn't. I don't go to watch walking events. You know what I mean?
But Ireland haven't had those problems that we've had in Wales, man. You say about provinces, they haven't had to do regional rugby. They haven't had to go through all the stuff that they've always been provinces, haven't they? Leinster have always been Leinster. They haven't had
that attachment is historic. It goes back hundreds of years.
And
they haven't had this disenfranchisement that we keep talking about in Wales.
But that's what we need to get to if we're going to make our regions the success that they could do. We've all got talented players in there. We've all got a talented pool of players beneath them. Yeah.
Well, you have to have a northern region as well, then.
Potentially.
Who's paying for that? Who's paying for that? We can't afford 4 pro teams. No chance.
Well, that's what I mean. That's the argument. Who would go?
Yeah, and the Ospreys becoming the RGC. It's something. What I'm saying is you have to have a stronger connection to the clubs than what we do now, and we feel it because we experience that. We experience that connection with the club, and that's where the WRU need to take the responsibility for that. The WRU need to take the responsibility for connecting people to their local team, to their local club, yeah, and supporting. You look at the area that the Scarlets supports. Yeah, there's a massive, massive area, and you compare that again.
Moffat said he brought in regional rugby, and he's turned around and said it doesn't work. This is the guy who's the brainchild behind it all. It doesn't work. 15 years later or whatever it is we are now, and. Could we go back down to, say, having 6 clubs where people from those areas go there week in, week out because it's their club?
Can't go to watch it. We can't go back to clubs. It's too late. We can't do that.
We're getting pummeled as 4 regions. Yeah. We're getting our ass handed to us every weekend as 4 regions. You go down to 6 clubs, yeah, You're getting your ass chopped up and fucked by a bull every week. Yeah, it's unrealistic to expect Ebbw Vale and Merthyr to compete with Bristol Bears in the European Cup. Yeah, it's just not going to happen. We need to have a real honest conversation with ourselves as supporters and with the club and the whole thing. You said earlier, Reece, there are 3 sections to rugby. There's a 4th section, yeah, which is education. And in England and Ireland and France and Scotland, that is the key driver for the professional game. And you watch Rugby Pawb on a Thursday night. They play on a Wednesday. You watch it on a Thursday night, yeah. It ain't great rugby. It's okay, but it ain't great. Then go and watch Irish schools play. Go and watch English schools play. Go and watch the Scottish schools play, and it's like watching professional rugby. And
it's like having the Bucks, isn't it? It's the Bucks League.
Yeah,
yeah. Which the Bucks are the feeders in Ireland. The college rugby is massive. They will fill Donnybrook Stadium every night with the college rugby.
It's the private school system as well in Ireland. They got very good private schools and college system.
And England and Scotland. But you look at so our main Bucks team is Cardiff Met, yeah? And in theory, Cardiff Met should serve all 4 regions. The most players that come out of Cardiff Met go to English professional sides. Yeah? Yeah,
that's an issue.
And we're like, the Cardiff Met is one of the top educational and research establishments for rugby in the world. It's got a reputation around the world. Why the hell are we not using Cardiff? Why have we got Cardiff Met, Cardiff Uni, and Swansea Uni? Yeah, Swansea Uni
and the Exiles programs as well.
No, I'm talking about within Bucks.
Okay.
Yeah? So you've got those 3 teams inside Bucks, yeah. And we've got 4 regions. So you've got 3 teams feeding 4 regions, and one of those teams isn't feeding any region specifically, yeah? And this is what I mean. We need to change the way we think about the game in Wales. If we are going to make the success of the regions that they should be, we need to go right back and say, right, okay, let's redesign this again from the bottom up, because it ain't working. We're not supporting that top layer at the minute. It's a bit like having a pyramid built on a set of stilts, yeah. And we're looking at the pyramid. It's shiny and golden, whereas actually the stilts that are holding it up are crumbling. Yeah. So that's my bit of Christ, boys. We said we were gonna do a little bit on the rugby, and we were gonna go.
There's no easy answer. Solution, is it? That's the problem. You can talk about this all night. You can talk about it all night. Honestly, we could stay up all night and talk, but there's no easy answer or solution. But just to say, we're going to say regional rugby's not working. From a Team Wales point of view, it has. Wales, it's provided Wales Grand Slams, championships, World Cup semi-finals. So the problem is now Wales aren't doing well. The focus and the blame is going back on the regions, whereas actually the regions have produced and developed these players. They are more than playing their part for Wales' success, and people should remember that.
And I think the bit for us is...
Did you just drop the mic then?
Just done it.
Gents, I think we leave that there then, and we will. I'm going to keep hold of my notes. Keep on my notepad there. Look, there's my little
Send the
notepad.
picture, please.
I'm going to mark it down if you lose that pad. End the season, we're going to have a look.
Just listen to last week's pod. I'll find my notepad. What we might do is we might double up our forfeits for next week. I'll be fucking slaughtered by the time we get to predictions, won't I? Right. Gents, pleasure as always, gents. We shall do this again, and enjoy your rugby. Have a good week.
Nice one, guys.
All the best.
Ta-ra now.
Thank you for listening to this week's show. We hope you enjoyed it enough to come back next week and listen again. So please do subscribe, rate and review the pod, as it really helps us on most of the platforms that we appear on. You can keep the conversation going on Twitter and Facebook by searching for us WRAP, W-R-R-A-P, or you can email us on welshregionalrugbypod@gmail.com. We'll be back next week to do some more of the same. We hope you'll come and enjoy us, and in the meantime, enjoy your rugby.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.